Welcome back to module 5 of this unit 2, permutations and combinations, and we will be talking about combinations in this module. To recall, we have discussed permutations in the last 4 modules, and we know that permutations is about arrangement of objects. Order is important, and while permutation is about arrangement, combination is about selection. Okay, so while we say the order is important in permutations, because there we are talking about arrangements of objects in different patterns. Okay, combination is about only selecting objects. Okay, let's say for example, you consider the objects A, B, C, D. Okay, I have 4 objects here, A, B, C, D. In how many different ways can 3 objects be selected from these 4 objects? Okay, so while in permutations we used to try arranging objects, here the question is about selecting. Okay, so in how many ways 3 objects be selected from these 4 objects? Okay, so if I have to select any 3 objects, I can select it either as A, B, C as 3 objects, or I may select A, B, D, or I may select A, C, D, or I may select B, C, D. Okay, I want 3 objects to be selected from these 4 objects A, B, C, D. So depending on a choice of objects, I may select either A, B, C, or A, B, D, or A, C, D, or B, C, D. Okay, so we are only selecting here. So now when we are selecting, say when we have A, B, C, it is not important to us in which order are we selecting, whether we are selecting A first or B first or C first. It is all that I have A, B and C with me at the end of it. The same way when we say A, B, D, it does, the order again doesn't matter to us. Okay, it is finally these 3 objects that I have selected, A, B and D. So here the sequence is not important to us. While in permutations, A, B, C would have given me 3 factorial 6 different patterns. Like A, B, C itself would have given me one is A, B, C, the other one is A, C, B, then B, A, C, B, C, A, C, A, B and C, B, A. In permutations, these 3 objects give me 6 different arrangements. Whereas in combinations, all these 6 patterns reflect only one, that is A, B and C. Finally what I have is A, B, C, these 3 objects with me. So all these 6 patterns becomes one. The same way this A, B, D in permutation would have given me another 6 arrangements, but now in combinations we are just selecting here, order is not important. So finally I have A, B, D. The same way A, C, D would have given me another 6 different patterns. The same way with B, C, D. So all those 24, 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, 24 arrangements in permutations now corresponds to only 4, ABC, ABD, ACD and BCD. So there are only 4 ways I can select 3 objects from these 4 objects A, B, C, D, and these reflect to 1, 2, 3 and 4, irrespective of what order those objects are selected. So this is exactly what we do in combinations. We only select objects irrespective of what order. So accordingly the same adjustments are done. While this 3 factorial, because these 3 objects will give me 3 factorial arrangements which are distinct, the same way these 3 objects will give me 3 factorial different arrangements in permutations. In permutation definition, now when I have to convert into combinations, the 3 factorial are all 1. So what I do in this permutation formula, if you recall, n factorial upon n minus r factorial. Now each of these r factorial arrangements are same here. I am selecting 3 objects. So r here is 3. So these r factorial objects are all one and the same in combination. So accordingly what I do is I divide this permutations by r factorial. What I get is the formula for combinations. And that's exactly how I arrive at the formula for combinations. While in permutations order is important, in combination it is not. Okay, so that's how I arrive at the formula for combinations. Combination is a special case of permutations, you can say. So the combination of n objects taken r at a time is the number of ways r objects can be selected from n objects, and the notation is either Cn comma r or ncr or this n r in brackets. Okay, we usually recommend Cn comma r or ncr, this is the notation. So this is the formula that we have for combination: n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay, so it is ncr or Cn comma r. What I did was, in permutations, this is the permutations definition, I divided by r factorial because those r factorial arrangements are one and the same when it comes to selection, because the order is not important to us. Okay, so if I to go back to that example, in how many different ways can 3 objects be selected from these 4 objects? So I have 4 objects, n equal to 4, and I am selecting 3 objects, r is equal to 3. So the number of ways I can select 3 objects out of 4 is ncr, which will be 4c3 as per the formula. It will be, so what is ncr? ncr is n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. So n here is 4, r is equal to 3, so it will be 4 factorial upon r factorial, so 3 factorial into n minus r, that is 4 minus 3 factorial. Okay, so it is 4 factorial upon 3 factorial into 4 minus 3 is 1 factorial. 4 factorial is 4 into 3 factorial divided by this 3 factorial into this 1 factorial is 1 itself, so that this 3 factorial will cancel, I'll get 4. So there are exactly 4 ways I can select 3 objects out of 4 objects, and basically it reflects to ABC, ABD, ACD and BCD. So instead of doing it manually, finding the selections number of ways manually like this, we just put it into a formula like this, and that will give me the answer. So we'll continue with some examples on these combinations. So in how many ways 3 people can be selected from a group of 10? So we want to select 3 people from a group of 10. So there is a group of 10, so n is equal to 10, and I want to select 3 people, so r is equal to 3, and it is about only selection, so we are using combinations. So the number of ways I can do it is 10c3. It will be 10 factorial upon 3 factorial into n is 10 and r is 3, so n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r, that is 10 minus 3 factorial, and that will be equal to 10 factorial upon 3 factorial into 7 factorial, which you can simplify as, how will you simplify this? 10 factorial, you can write, say 10 factorial, 10 factorial is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 factorial divided by 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1, and this 7 factorial I am keeping as it is so that I can cancel with this. Okay, so we have 3 3s are 9, 2 4s are 8, so 3 into 4 is 12, into 10 is 120. So there are 120 ways I can select 3 people from a group of 10. That's exactly what it means, and that is how we use combinations in solving that. Let us consider another example. Okay, in how many ways a committee of 3 students be formed from a group of students consisting of 2 first year, 3 second year and 4 third year students? So I have 2 first year students, 3 second year students and 4 third year students. In how many ways a committee of 3 students? So I want to form a committee of 3 students. So in how many ways a committee of 3 students be formed from a group of students containing this 2 first year, 3 second and 4 third year? So basically we want to form a committee of 3 students from this group of students. So when you have to form a committee of 3 students, it is just like you will select any 3 students from this group. Okay, now there are no conditions as such. Okay, as to how to form this committee, we have to just form a committee of 3 students from this. So in a way, you will select 3 students from this. 2 plus 3 5 plus 4 9 students. So you have 9 students here, and from this you are selecting 3 students. So I have to just find out how many ways I can select 3 students out of 9. So it will just be 9C3, 9 factorial upon 3 factorial into 9 minus 3, that is 6 factorial. That will be equal to 9 factorial. 9 factorial is 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 factorial, divided by 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1 into this 6 factorial, that will cancel with this. And the same way I can carry out these cancellations. 3 into 3 is this, 2 into 4, so I have 3 into 4, 12 into 7, that is equal to 80. So there are 84 ways I can select. I can form a committee of 3 students from a group of these students. So it is worthwhile to know some properties about this coefficients that are involved here, this NC0, NC1 and basically NCR. These NCR are usually referred to as binomial coefficients because they appear in the binomial theorem, okay, in the expansion of a plus b raised to n. Now every time we did not have to really go by the formula and every time find out the value of these coefficients, because in general NC0 is always equal to 1. If you recall, if you have to put as per this formula, NC0 is n factorial upon R here is 0, 0 factorial into n minus 0 factorial. Okay, now n minus 0 is n itself, so this is n factorial, that will cancel with this n factorial, so 0 factorial is 1, so what I will get is 1. So that's how NC0 is always equal to 1. The same way with NCN, if I have to find out with NCN, NCN is n factorial upon R here is n now, so this is n factorial into n minus n factorial. So n minus n is 0, 0 factorial, 0 factorial is 1. Now this n factorial will cancel with this n factorial. Okay, this is 1. So everything gets cancelled. I have 1. So NC0 and NCN both are always equal to 1, irrespective of what the value of n is. The same way NC1, if I have to find out NC1, it is n factorial upon R is 1 here, 1 factorial into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, and we know that n factorial is n into n minus 1 factorial, the reduction formula. 1 factorial is 1 into I have n minus 1 factorial. So this n minus 1 factorial, n minus 1 factorial cancels, I'll get n. That's how I get n. The same way NCn minus 1 is equal to n. This goes the same way. Okay, so the same way NC2, if I have to find out NC2, it is n factorial upon 2 factorial into n minus 2 factorial. N factorial can be written as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorial, divided by 2 factorial is 2 into 1 into this n minus 2 factorial as it is, that will cancel with this n minus 2 factorial. What I have is n into n minus 1 upon 2, and that's how I get this. So moment I have to find out NC2, I don't have to every time really solve it like this. I have to remember that it is n into n minus 1 upon 2. So like say if I have to find out 4C2, 4C2 will be equal to 4 into 4 minus 1, 4 into 3, that is 12, 12 upon 2, that is directly equal to 6. Okay, so we did not waste our time in every time putting this NCR in terms of the formula and finding the value. Okay, now if you see carefully, NC0 and NCN both are same. NC1 and NCN minus 1, these are same. So we have a symmetric distribution here. okay, where the last are same, second and the second last are the same, and so. In fact, we will be talking about this property in detail. We'll continue with some examples. So, in how many ways a committee of 3 students be formed from a group of students consisting of 2 first year, 3 second year, and 4 third year students, so that one student from each class is in the committee. Now, this is an example we already discussed earlier. Okay, there we know that there were uh, 2 first year, I have 3 second year, and 4 third year students. There were total 9 students. Okay, and we want to form a committee of 3 students. So in general, how many committees I can form? 9C3. Okay, and we have already found out this value. So now we have a condition here. We want to form the same committee here, a committee of 3 students from this, such that one student from each class is in the committee. Now here we have some conditions here, so accordingly we will put these conditions. Now for one student to be there from each class to be in the committee, so I have to basically select one student from each of the class. So one from the first year, and one from the second year, and one from the third year. Okay, so you will select one from the first year, so you will say 2C1. You will select one from the second year, so you will select one from this 3, and you will select one from the third year, that is one from this 4. You can do that in 4C1 ways. So you want one from the first year, and so you are multiplying one from the second year and one from the third year. So if I recollect the properties we discussed in the previous class, 2C1 is 2, NC1 is always N, so 2C1 is 2, 3C1 is 3, and 4C1 is 4. We know that NC1 is always equal to N in general. Okay, so the answer to this is 2 into 3 into 4, that is equal to 24. The same way, how many of these committees can be formed such that there are 2 students from the same class in the committee? So the same way, I have 2 first year, 3 second year, and 4 third year students. I want to form a committee of 3 students. Now the condition is that there are 2 students from the same class in the committee. So what I should do? Now it depends on which 2 students from the same class you are taking. These 2 students can come from either from first year, or from second year, or from the third year. Okay, now here I'll stress on or that I'm using here. I'm using or here. I may take 2 students from the first year, or 2 from the second year, or 2 from the third year. So if I go for 2 students from the first year, remember this is a committee of 3 students. So I have to select another member, and that member should come from either from the second year or third year. Okay, so anyone from the 7. So we take this third member from the 7 remaining students. So I'll say 7C1. So I take 2 from first year, and so I'm saying and, so I'm multiplying, and 1 from the remaining 7 students of second year and third year. So this is a case where I'm taking 2 students from first year, or I may take 2 students from second year. In that case, I'm selecting 2 students from the second year. In that case, the third member should come from either first year or third year. So remaining this 2 plus 4, 6. So one student I'll select from this 6 remaining students. So 2 from the second year and 1 from the remaining 6 students. Or I may go for 2 students from the third year, because the 2 students from the same class. So 2 from the third year. In that case, the third member should come from the remaining 2 and 3, that is 5. So this answer here for this question depends on these 3 cases. I take 2 from the first year and 1 from the remaining 7, or 2 from the second year and 1 from the remaining 6, or 2 from the third year and 1 from the remaining 5. Okay, so you have to just simplify this and find out the answer. 2C2 is 1, okay, and 7C1 is 7 plus 3C2 is 3, because I know that 3C2 is same as 3C1, and Cn minus 1 is equal to n. Recall that we discussed it in the previous slide. 6C1 is 6 plus 4C2. Now 4C2 is like NC2, n into n minus 1 upon 2. So 4C2 is 4 into 3, that is 12. 12 upon 2 is 6 into 5C1 is 5. Okay, so I have 1 into 7 plus 3 into 6 plus 6 into 5, that will come to around 55. So I have 55 ways of forming a committee of 3 students from 2 first year, 3 second year and 4 third year students, so that 2 students are from the same class in the committee. The same way, we'll consider the same example. Okay, we have 2 first year, 3 second year and 4 third year students, and we want to form a committee of 3 students so that all students are from same class. Okay, so I have 2 first year students, 3 second year students and 4 third year students. Okay, I want to form a committee of 3 students so that all students are from the same class. Okay, so all students should be from the same class. Now there is no way that I can form a committee of 3 students so that all students are from first year, because first year has only 2 students as the members. So there is no way I can make a committee of these students. So these 3 students should either come from the second year or from the third year. So I select these 3 second year students, 3C3, or 3 students from the third year. I'm using OR here, so I'm using adding. So I'm adding here. So 3C3 NCN is 1 plus 4C3 is like NCN minus 1, which is 4. Of course, you may calculate this and see 4C3 is 4 factorial upon 3 factorial into 4 minus 3 factorial, which is 4 factorial upon 3 factorial into 1 factorial. 4 factorial is 4 into 3 factorial upon 3 factorial, as it is cancels. You will get this 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So there are total 5 ways I can form a committee such that all are from the same class. The same way, another question is how many ways I can form this committee so that at least 2 students are from the same class. Okay, now when you say at least 2 students, it means minimum 2 students should be from the same class. So either 2 students can from the same class or all 3 can be from the same class. So this particular case is actually a combination of is the sum of the previous 2 cases. When I say at least 2 students, okay, it either means that there are either there are 2 students from same class, or okay, all students are from same class. All 3 students are from same class. Now these 2 we have already individually found out in the previous case. Okay, for 2 students it was 55 plus all 3 students we have already found out 5. Okay, so this comes to 60. So there are 60 ways I can form a committee of 3 students so that at least 2 students are from the same class.